Speaking of like coming to like ridiculous ideas without any like empirical facts behind them, one thing I've been hearing recently, especially from those on the right, is we need to harden our schools. We need to, ensure that our schools are mini fortresses. And I'm not totally against to hardening soft targets. It makes sense. But some of the ideas I'm hearing are ridiculous. The other day I was watching this guy who said that every school at a minimum 25% of all personnel, right? First he said all teachers, then he said all personnel that work in the building must be armed, not should be armed, but must be armed. If you're not okay with arms being in your school, you should quit. They also need several resource officers at every single school, at least 5, and all doors should be locked except for one point of entry. And I'm like, where is your empirical evidence that this is going to be the solution? You're just pulling stuff out your ass saying that this is what we need to do. Let's just go through those point by point. So first off, 25% of all personnel armed, right? Listen, if we get to the point in America where teachers can conceal carry on a voluntary basis, in all honesty, I'm not going to be totally against that. But where did you get 25% from? How do you know that's enough? So you just feel 25% is going to make the cut. That works, right? I need to know what fact-based structure you have to even know that that's a way to go. One point of entry for the entire school. Listen, so America has over 14,000 school districts. Some school districts have over 200 schools in them. All of the school districts have high schools in them. You mean to tell me you want to just have one single point of entry, which is more doable in an elementary school than a high school and a middle school, by the way. But what about recess? What about when they go to the bus? What about when they come from the bus? What about, just different scenarios like portables? I went to a high school where we had so many students and so few classrooms that they built portable buildings, right? Which buildings literally brought in on an 18-wheeler for which we had classes that we rotated to. So there couldn't be one single point of entry for that school. There had to be multiple because if I'm going to my portable classroom, I can exit through the gym door. I could exit by the cafeteria. I could walk around the school. There was thousands of students in my high school. And to all of us to flood through only one door to get back and forth to portables makes no sense. So hardening soft targets may be an idea, but those initial ideas need to come with some type of either, micro testing that can be shown as empirical research. Like I'm not a big fan of pouring money into something, especially if you haven't shown me that it's going to make any sense. And as for the actual fact of arming teachers and them being in schools, as I mentioned before, if they want to do it on a voluntary basis, maybe that'd be something I consider. Completely, most schools in America, and I say most without any evidence right in front of me, are gun-free zones, right? They got the sign on there and all that other stuff. And I know here in Texas, you can conceal carry up to the sidewalk, right, of an elementary school, but you can't conceal carry into an elementary school. So there, every area has different rules, and they may have changed that since then. But you have to really think about what makes sense in regards to hardening soft targets